In 10 minutes' time, Viewpoint 91 puts security and the environment into one equation in guns and toxic whales.
This is the new BMW 3 Series. It's a car for children. But why? Can this child appreciate the sophistication of the new 24-valve 6-cylinder engine? Can he grasp why its perfect balance gives near-perfect road holding? Does he care that it exceeds the world's toughest safety standard by 36%? Hardly. And no, it's not merely because there's so much room in the back. It's because this new BMW is designed to be recyclable, a fact that will matter more to him than to you. So by the time he's grown up, this BMW 3 Series could be something completely different. Indeed, that's what it is. Today.
The restaurant bill caused frustration. I couldn't pay for microstation, but flexible is so digestible. Does you does or does you don't take access? Does you does or does you don't take access?
8 million outlets worldwide does. Does you does?
What on earth is going on?
Don't trouble yourself, madame. I'll deal with it. Hello, do you come out on bank holiday? Ah. What do you mean it's not your area? I'm trying to. It's stuck. All under control here. Nothing to worry about. What? No credit cards? No, it's not important. I'll call someone else.
Desmond, what about calling Talking Pages?
This is not the time to call in total strangers.
If you need something quickly, call Talking Pages. We'll help you find the right shops and services in your area.
Hello, Talking Pages? Ah, I wonder if you could help.
Yes, we have 3 plumbers in your area who have an emergency service.
Thank you so much.
Is he all right?
Yes, he's just looking for the fish.
Call Talking Pages on 021 711 1177 and we'll do the searching for you.
La mer qu'on voit danser le long des golfes clairs a des reflets d'argent. La mer, des reflets changeants sous la pluie.
Under the P&O colours, the continent comes over to meet you.
Au ciel d'été, confond.
Don't just get across, cruise across with P&O European ferries.
La mer.
Massive, massive savings at Paul Air Carpets. Heavy-duty cords, 99p a square yard. American Shadow, $2.99. And traditional Wiltons from just $4.99. Paul Air at Worksop, Chesterfield, Lincoln, Mansfield, and at Netherfield and Chilwell, Nottingham.
Good evening. Well, today was much cooler than yesterday for most of us, but we still managed a fair amount of sunshine this afternoon. Tomorrow will be another cool and breezy day, but sadly a good deal more cloudy than today was. In fact, the clouds already increasing, spreading down over Scotland and the eastern parts of Britain overnight. A few outbreaks, mostly light rain mixed in there too, but much of that staying in the north. As you can see, the temperature's never that low, but low enough perhaps for just a touch of ground frost where you're sheltered from those fresh north winds. On to tomorrow then, well, a much more cloudy picture than today, certainly. Most of the rain, I think, up in the north and west there, but odd spots of rain turning up almost anywhere. I think much of the rain will be quite light. Now, the odd sunny spell could turn up almost anywhere, to be honest, but most likely, I think, the further west you are, western parts of Northern Ireland and the sheltered southwest of England and Wales. That's where most of the sunshine will be. But don't give up hope. There could be an odd sunny spell even further east, and that's certainly where most of the patchy rain will turn up, I think, further north and east we look. Let's look at the temperatures tomorrow then. They already show 2 or 3 degrees lower than today, typically around 13, I think, which is about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. but the winds are going to make all the difference again. If anything, a fraction stronger than they were today, and still from that cool north-northwesterly direction. So if you're out on the coast, it's going to feel really quite chilly indeed tomorrow. Fingers crossed for an improvement later in the week. Till then, here's tomorrow's summary.
Good evening and welcome to Central News in the East Midlands. A badly designed incubator has been blamed for the death of a baby girl. An inquest was told today that 4-month-old Charlene Stevens, who was the last survivor of triplets, died in her mother's arms after the hospital incubator failed.
Baby Charlene, who weighed just 1.5 pounds when she was born, was kept at Northampton General Hospital for 4 months before her death. Doctors were so pleased with her progress that they decided to replace the ventilator in her mouth with one in her neck. But as they wheeled the baby from the operating theatre, she stopped breathing. Staff tried frantically to revive her, but she couldn't be resuscitated. An engineer told today's inquest that a device controlling voltage to the incubator had failed, although Northamptonshire Health Authority had since made considerable modifications to the design. The baby's mother told the coroner, Michael Colcutt, that she'd taken fertility drugs and gave birth to 3 little girls, 2 of whom died within 11 days. Paul and Julie Stevens have been granted legal aid to sue the District Health Authority alleging negligence. The inquest is expected to last 3 days.
Edwina Currie has been awarded £5,000 libel damages against a Sunday newspaper. The MP for Derbyshire South won her case at the High Court against the Observer after an article compared her to a film character prepared to kill to save her political career.
I'm absolutely delighted, very grateful to my lawyers. It's exactly what I wanted. I really was after the Observer apologising and really trying to make sure they don't say that sort of thing about me again. So in that sense, the damages are just a little bit extra.
A council leader has been accused by opponents of playing a cynical game with a pension fund of the council's employees. A report out today says he claimed that an investment in a failed left-wing newspaper had produced handsome profits. In fact, the report says it had cost the pension fund more than £300,000.
The paper was the news on Sunday. The politician David Buckbinder, the Labour leader of Derbyshire County Council. When the Sunday paper was launched 5 years ago, the council's pension fund invested £305,000, but the paper only lasted 2 months. It's then that Mr Buckbinder became particularly involved, according to the district auditor's report. Mr Buckbinder arranged a deal with the paper's then owner, millionaire Owen Oyston. Mr Oyston would buy the valueless shares from the pension fund for £400,000. But in return, the fund would invest the same amount in another of Mr Oyston's companies. In addition, it would provide a further £2 million for future joint investments. But Mr Buckbinder then announced that the shares had been sold for a handsome profit. He didn't mention the fact that, according to the auditor, the two parties had simply swapped £400,000 cheques. The report says the exchange of cheques was at best pointless, at worst chicanery. But the auditor concludes that he'll take no further action and says the fund's investment performance is more often than not above the average. This afternoon, the council's Conservative leader Keith Allman said it confirms our suspicions that it was a cynical game. But Mr Buckbinder says the report is much ado about nothing. He makes no allegations of wrongdoing because nothing was done wrong.
A butcher has told a murder trial that he killed his fiancée in a remote country lane after she told him she was pregnant. Jason Willis, who's 20 and from Long Eaton, has pleaded not guilty to murdering Elaine Bowler, aged 20, from Oakerthorpe in Derbyshire. Her body was found lying next to her red mini car. She'd been attacked with a steak knife and a wheel brace. Today, Willis told a jury he lost control after Elaine told him that she was pregnant, but he wasn't the father. He said he remembered hitting her with a wheel brace, but not how many times. Later, his mind went blank, but he thought she was alive when he drove off. The trial is continuing. A lorry driver who was held prisoner in a Greek jail during the Iraqi supergun affair a year ago is now facing bankruptcy. Paul Ashwell blames the loss of his home and his truck on the huge cost of getting himself out of Greece.
Despite the publicity surrounding Northampton lorry driver Paul Ashwell's detention in Greece, he's never had any compensation for his time behind bars. Getting himself and his lorry back to Britain cost him around £45,000. Debts which meant he had to sell his home and had his lorry repossessed.
It's all due to the fact that I was locked up in Greece, this is. Otherwise I'd have still have had all my trucks. And I feel totally bitter about it all because it just ain't fair. Why should, you know, I and my family have to suffer for others' doings, you know? And here I am now, I've lost my house, I've had to sell my house to keep the business going, and now I've had one of my trucks repossessed.
To get a barrister to take his claim for compensation to court would cost £25,000. However good his case, that's money Paul Ashwell hasn't got.
That's how it looks tonight. We're back tomorrow at 5 to 10. Join us if you can. But from the late news team, good night.
Cloud and a bit of rain. In fact, it's a bit of a bitty forecast tonight. It's going to be clear to start with, allowing temperatures to drop to 6 Celsius, but later on thicker cloud will spread in from the north to bring 1 or 2 spots of patchy light rain by morning. That cloud is going to be hanging around tomorrow as well, so we're not going to see as much sunshine as we did today, but the day will improve as it wears on. It's going to be mostly cloudy to start with some patchy light rain and a bit brighter weather around Northants. The cloud will break up a little in the afternoon with more in the way of brighter spells and getting drier too. A cool day though, just managing 13 Celsius at best. That's 55 for tomorrow.
If you're looking for some lively conversation, watch the show that's never lost for words.
I think it's very entertaining. Highly emotive. Well worth staying in to watch.
Certainly controversial.
Good programme. Fantastic.
It's great for people to be able to express their opinion.
It doesn't quite match with Coronation Street, but...
No buts, just plain speaking. Fridays at 10:40.
Since the 14th century, the people of Buxton in Derbyshire have offered thanks for the purity of their spring with a well dressing made from flowers. Why should Buxton be blessed with a spring so pure? Only nature knows why.
If you find some business literature hard to understand, try the BT Business Catalogue instead. For your free copy, call 0800 800 800.
Acetone, your solution to indigestion.
Central presents another fascinating programme from the survival portfolio. Ghost Town, introduced by Rolf Harris.
What man gave up as a dead loss and a bad job, desert wildlife sees as a desirable residence and golden opportunity.
Thursdays at 7:30 on Central. Don't miss Survival, the first 30 years.
Our film in an hour's time is Tangier. Now, Central's Viewpoint 91. In 10 minutes' time, Viewpoint 91 puts security and the environment into one equation in guns and toxic whales.
If you are concerned about the security of the environment, you can find out more from our fact sheets, produced in association with Friends of the Earth Trust, available from Top Guns and Toxic Whales, Box 96, Birmingham B1 2JL. Please send a cheque or postal order for 40p to cover postage and packing. And a book to accompany the series is now available, priced at £9.99, published by Earthscan Publications.
Manchester United last appeared in a European Cup final in 1968. The great days of Matt Busby. 22 years on, Manchester United meet Barcelona for the European Cup Winners' Cup final in Rotterdam. You can be there too. For live Wednesday European Cup soccer at 7:10 on Central, don't miss the match.
In the heat of the night, anything can happen, especially in the heat of Sparta, where the policeman's loss is rarely light, and the southern sun makes things really burn. O'Connor and Howard Rollins are teamed to tackle whatever threatens the peace in the heat of the night.
And it's murder in the heat of tomorrow night at midnight. Celebrity guests tell Henry Kelly how money, or the lack of it, has affected their lives when he asks, "How was it for you?" at 1:35. After our movie, Tangier. That's next.
This is the latest British gas kitchen with fully fitted carpet, running water, plenty of storage space, a good larder, and here's the cooker. With instant heat and adjustable flames, it's now as easy to cook outdoors as it is inside. We can even supply you with a silvery moon. For more information on British Gas barbecues, gas lights and other outdoor products, the natural place to go is your British Gas showroom. Gas, the heat of the moment.
From Gillette comes Sensor, the razor that can sense and adjust to the individual needs of your face. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and individually adjust to your face. Closer, safer, more comfortable. Gillette Sensor, together with the richness of Gillette Gel, for a shave that is unsurpassed.
Gillette, the best of men.
English dairy butter is cut to just 49 pence. Extra cuts the cost of living. Danish middle bacon is cut to only 98 pence per pound. Extra cuts the cost of living. Rump steak is cut to just $2.69 per pound. Extra cuts the cost of living. Bananas are cut to just 32 pence per pound at Co-op Extra superstores and food stores. Extra cuts the cost of living.
Massive, massive savings at Paul Air Carpets. Heavy-duty cords, 99p a square yard. American Shadow, $2.99. And traditional Wiltons from just $4.99. Paul Air at Worksop, Chesterfield, Lincoln, Mansfield, and at Netherfield and Chilwell, Nottingham.
Credit cards. My godmother started me off. Just appeared one day.
Cindy! You're 19. You haven't had any fun.
From that moment, I had a ball.
Magic.
Where'd you get that watch?
I should have known it was too good to be true. Too late. I remembered the warning. You must pay by the 30th. Made me feel a right twit.
Life's no fairy tale, nor's this. Credit-wise, a free guide to trouble-free credit. From the Office of Fair Trading, Free Post London EC4B 4AH.
Every day, decisions are made which affect our lives. Every week, they're explained and discussed in Central Lobby. It's just one of Central's powerful stable of regional programs covering the issues which matter to you throughout this region and around your world. Thursdays at 10:40, Central Lobby. Television that's central to you.
Robin and Baby find that breaking up is hard to do when they get emotionally out of step while dirty dancing. Late Thursday night on Central at 11:40.